Pigeon gets an email. Due to our strategic pivot toward AI, your role has been eliminated. What? I've been here 5 years. This can't be real. But the company calls it innovation, so the layoff is supposed to sound like progress. Except there's one big problem. The AI isn't really working. It keeps making mistakes. And Pigeon still have to clean up its mess. So why are headlines telling a different story? AI is replacing workers everywhere. Klarna cuts 40% of its workforce. Duolingo cuts 10% of its contractors. IBM said 7,800 roles could be replaced. It sounds like AI is actually working, right? Well, not really. 95% of companies investing in AI are getting zero return on investment. Yep, something feels off. So if the AI isn't delivering, why is it getting blamed for so many layoffs? So what is actually happening here? In a lot of companies, AI hasn't been able to replace one whole worker. What it does is even simpler. It's helping management justify cuts, hiring freezes, and more pressure on the pigeons still working there. And this is the important part, because the story around the AI is doing more work than the AI. If a company says growth slowed, we overhired, and we need costs down, it sounds bad. It sounds like management pigeons made a choice, a mean one, the kind of choice made in a secret Zoom meeting over a spreadsheet no one understands. Half the pigeons are asleep, the other half keep nodding just to look smart. But then there's the other option. We're making a strategic pivot toward AI. Now it sounds smart, and it's a beautiful little sentence because it does two jobs at once. For investors, it signals vision. We're modern, we're moving fast, we're not getting left behind. And for workers, it makes them feel less safe, so they work harder, because a bad paycheck still feels better than no paycheck. That's the trick. And Pigeon is not saying these tools are fake. Some of them are useful, but right now, most of them just keep making mistakes and giving nonsense answers. Like you when your boss asks, did you send the email? And you go, first of all, define email. So now you get it. Proof of buzz is not proof of replacement, because a company can spend a fortune on AI, do the weird corporate smile for the cameras, demo a flashy robot on stage, and still end up with an even worse product. Look at Tesla's Optimus. It was trash. So pigeons still have to come in and clean up the mess. But as long as pigeons believe the story, companies are safe. Bosses get cover. Investors get a shiny future story. Competitors get scared of looking slow. The media gets a clean headline. And worker pigeons are the ones suffering from all this so-called innovation. So yes, AI is changing work, but right now, it's mostly being used to justify layoffs. If AI isn't replacing work the way companies claim, what is it doing to workers? When pigeons hear AI is coming for their jobs, they imagine the work disappearing. But in many cases, the job survives, just in a worse form. You still have the deadline. You still answer to the client. You still get blamed when something goes wrong. But now you do the work with a robot looking over your shoulder, kind of like an intern. You have to explain everything, and somehow it still makes you lose time. An intern can at least bring you coffee. I said what I said. And your boss wants the tool everywhere. Emails, reports, PowerPoints, even when it slows you down. Because if the dashboard says AI usage is up, somebody in a meeting gets to celebrate. But this is ridiculous. AI often makes the job worse. You start double checking everything it does. Did it make up a source? Did it answer the wrong question in a very professional tone? And that last one happens a lot, because AI can sound very confident and still give you complete nonsense. Like your GPS saying, keep going straight. Are you crazy? That's a lake. Trust me. So now you are not just doing your job, you are also babysitting the machine. Yep, apparently, the future is becoming a prompt writer for a robot that understands less than a baby pigeon. It's crazy how a tool can save 1 minute on one task and then eat your entire afternoon on another. And this is not just Pigeon complaining. One study found experienced developers were actually 19% slower with AI because they had to keep checking and fixing what it gave them. But the strongest pushback is obvious. It's early. Of course, the tools are messy, they'll improve. And sure, some of them will. That's not a crazy argument, but that's not the point. The tool might improve next year, but your team got smaller this quarter. Your workload got worse today. And your boss keeps comparing you to a machine. So even before AI fully replaces work, it can still make work more exhausting. What does it mean for pigeons like you and me? This AI revolution doesn't hit every pigeon the same way. Let's start with senior pigeons. Imagine doing your job the same way for more than 20 years and then one day being told that way no longer works. Now you have to learn a whole new way of doing things. That must be hard, and this gets even worse if you're a young pigeon. Senior workers at least have experience, connections, and a bit more leverage. Junior pigeons get the worst version, fewer entry roles. Companies already wanted entry-level workers with experience, which is evil. Now they also want them to know all the AI tools on day one. A 22-year-old doesn't even know how to cook pasta, and now you want them to be AI experts on day one? And the damage doesn't stay inside the office. You feel it in normal life too. Customer support gets worse. Useless chatbots everywhere. You can't even talk to a real pigeon anymore, so your problems never get fixed. Don't believe me? Here are some concrete examples. DPD's chatbot swearing and calling itself useless. Air Canada's chatbot promising a discount that wasn't available to a passenger. Chevrolet's chatbot agreeing to sell a car for $1. Finally, fair pricing. Give me 5 please. And once enough companies learn they can get away with that, the shortcut spreads. Not because it works beautifully, but because nobody wants to be left behind. One executive says AI, another copies it. Another board asks why their company is not doing the same, and suddenly the question is not, does this improve the work, but more like, why are we the only ones not using it? It's basically that mom question. If your friends jumped off a cliff, would you do it too? And the board is like, yep. And that's why the panic becomes profitable. Workers get scared and over-prepare. Companies get scared and overspend. And vendors sell urgency like a survival kit. The result is simple. Even when AI is not reliably replacing workers at scale, it can still lower pay, weaken leverage, reduce training opportunities, and normalize worse products for everyone. So after all that, what is the fair conclusion? Pigeon is not saying AI is fake, or that better tools will never exist, or that every company using it is lying. That would be too easy. The point is simpler. Companies are using it to make workers' lives worse, and that shouldn't be the case. Use AI to replace boring tasks, but keep the pigeons. Give them more room to think and to solve problems where common sense still matters. Make a tool that actually helps them. Nobody dreams of spending their one pigeon life reformatting slide decks and renaming documents called version 6.4.5 final of the final for sure. But that's not what a lot of companies are doing. AI did not walk into the office, open Outlook, and fire everyone. The pigeons wearing expensive shoes did. So AI made us do it is not an acceptable explanation. It does not justify lower pay, layoffs, or worse products. And there's one more stupid little problem with replacing all the pigeons. If AI takes all the jobs, who exactly is supposed to buy anything? Can you see the new economy we're creating? A robot makes the product, another robot buys it, then a third robot leaves a 5-star review. Lovely. Future's looking bright. At some point, even the business pigeons have to remember one tiny detail. Customers need money, and money usually comes from work. So next time a company announces an AI transformation, look for the missing pigeon work. Where did it go? Did it actually disappear? Or did it get shoved onto the remaining workers, onto the customer trying to fix a problem through a cursed chatbot? AI was supposed to help pigeons work better, not become the excuse to get rid of them. Subscribe to support Pigeon so he can keep the future slightly less scary. Also, if you like this video, you'll probably like the one below. Do it for Pigeon.